Hopes, catch a PB.
Ooh.
Dreams, we just catch fish in general.
Yep.
And fears, ooh, we get skunked. I don't think it's gonna happen. We got a long time to go fish, so.
All right, see you guys, all right. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye, I'm not gonna miss that dog barking. My dog is horrible, by the way. Let's go. Alrighty guys, the current time is 1:20 in the morning. I'm not tired at all. I'm freaking jacked up. As we've been driving south, the snow has just progressively been going down. There's 5 feet of snow at my house. We drive 7 hours south. We're at the very northern tip of Missouri and there's absolutely zero snow. There's open water, zero snow, zero problems. So I'm super hyped. We got like an hour and a half left of the trip. I don't know where we're staying tonight. I really don't know what we're doing, but we've made it south and we've made it to the land of open water. So we're gonna get back in the car, grind the rest of this trip out, and then maybe figure out a place to sleep or some food to eat, or I don't really know. Let's just get in the car and get driving. The adventure began. 1:20 in the morning and we are freaking hyped.
We're amped. I don't even know if I'm gonna sleep.
Alrighty, the current time is 5:40 in the morning. We pulled into Lake of the Ozarks around 3:30 in the morning. I don't know if you can hear, but it's just absolutely pouring out. So we found a little motel, but we can't get into it till 7. So we literally had like 3 hours of burn. I pulled underneath this Casey's gas station. It was all dark, literally a couple hours ago. I slept on the back deck of the boat for like 2 hours, and a police officer woke me up. He's like, "Hey, are you guys okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, we're good, we're good. We were staying at the hotel right there." He's like, "Okay, I was just making sure you weren't dead. It's really cold out here." I'm like, "Oh no, it's not cold out here, sir." Either way, it is just nasty weather right here, but nothing beats freaking a snowstorm. So we can handle some rain. We're gonna go inside, probably organize our tackle. I don't know if we'll get to fish today, but we're down here. We'll be ready for tomorrow. And just as soon as this rain passes, we're getting on the water. So stay tuned. You won't be pissed.
Good. MTV cribs. 219, this is the crib.
This is the crib. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Couple of beds, a little motel action. That's the most important part. That is the most important part.
All you need.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm taking a nap.
Alrighty, so Brock and myself literally just took the past 3 hours to unpack our stuff, strip hundreds of yards of line off all our old reels, reline. We got out our tackle. We just organized everything. We made a stop at Cabela's, so we bought a bunch of new tackle. We were unorganized, but now after 2 or 3 hours, I feel like we're ready. And also something very exciting, as I'm looking out the window right now, this crazy rainstorm that was over Missouri just blew out. So the current time is noon. We have our tackle all ready and the sun is finally poking its nose out. So that means we're going fishing today. I'm not exactly sure what to expect. I don't know the water temperature. I don't know exactly what the fish are doing right now. I would have to assume they're pre-spawn. So they're gonna be pretty deep. They're gonna be on either main lake points, secondary points, just hanging off that big point that's leading into a spawning bay, because they're not ready to spawn yet, but they're setting up and they're eating a bunch of fish before they go back and spawn. So if we can find the bait, if we can find the warm water, and if we can find just kind of those nice secondary or main lake points that lead back to spawning areas, I think we'll be good. So the main thing I guess predict that we'll do well on is a jerkbait. This is just like a little shadow wrap. I got a couple mega basses. I have some Rick Cluns. This worked in the past down here. I fished down here a couple times, just some old college derbies. So this is just what worked for me in the past. So I guess might as well fish a couple memories. Besides that, a good old square bill. This is a great search bait, especially on a lake like Lake of the Ozarks. It's full of pea gravel, chunk rock, wood. This thing bounces off everything. So as far as like a search bait goes, I'm gonna have this in my hand, just casting it in between docks, casting on little rocky shores, and I really think this could work. Another thing, which has been proven good down here in the past, at least for myself, is a good old football head jig. Peanut butter and jelly color. It's got some browns, it's got some purples. I'm gonna be throwing these off the main lake points, the secondary points, because that water could still be pretty cold. They could be finicky, just hanging out down there, and I'm just gonna drag it slow, really slow. All right, the last setup I'm gonna talk about, this will definitely be on my deck, is a shaky head. Shaky heads can be good during pre-spawn. Just if they're really finicky, laying on those deep points, I just wanna drag that worm on the bottom nice and slow. There's other ways you can do this with a drop shot, a Nico rig, or a variety of other techniques, but I love a shaky head, so I have to tie that on. Jerkbait, square bill, big jig, shaky head. So I have high hopes. I don't know how cold the water is. I think it's really, really cold, so this fish could be finicky, but I don't even care. Brok and myself are just pumped to get on the lake and cast a line. So there's nothing else to do but get in the boat, go to the lake, and let the adventure begin. We'll see you out there. Today officially marks our first full day of fishing Lake of the Ozarks. I am super pumped. We kind of traveled up north to water I've never fished, Brok's never fished. We're just gonna check it out, just gonna go fishing. It's like 45 degrees outside, low wind, sunny, partly cloudy. I don't know. Let's just get on the boat. Alrighty, first two spots we checked. The warmest water we found was 39 degrees, so definitely frigid. I've just been kind of using jerk baits. I threw a little shaky head out there because we went over some nice brush, but I think we're gonna switch up spots now. We're gonna run down the lake. There's a big old creek arm that's got a bunch of points, bunch of secondary points in it. So I think we're gonna give that a shot. And I don't know, I think I might stick to the jerk bait. I might throw a big old jig out there too and just drag it slow, because I'm sure these fish aren't super active to say the least. But yeah, let's do it. How about you? What's your game plan?
I'm gonna have some coffee, rip that jerk bait around, throw that jig around, maybe throw a chatterbait. I don't know. We're just gonna try to enjoy we are going to try to enjoy the day and make the most of it.
This water is much more clear, and this point looks freaking juicy, boys. Alrighty guys, what we pulled into here is there's an island to my right and kind of a decent little point to my left. It's just a little saddle that kind of comes up here. It's pretty deep where we're sitting right here, but it gets a little more gradual as we move up into the saddle. If I was a fish in spring and I wanted to chase bait and kind of stage somewhere before I spawned, this is like mint. This is prime. This is right where I'd come, eat a bunch of food, and then when I'm good and ready to do the deal, I'd swing into one of these cuts. So I'm throwing a little jerk bait, Brok's throwing a little jerk bait. And hopefully there's just a couple chilling here. It's crazy because a lake like this is like nothing like a lake we have back home. This is all rocks, all big boulders, rocks, gravel, brush, and lakes back home for me are more like grass and mud and pads and reeds, and there's still rock piles, but if you find rock, it's like really good and rare, opposed to where there's rock everywhere here. So finding little nuances in a lake of this size that's just all kind of rock is pretty tough. That's what makes it a challenge, and that's why it's fun. Fish, fish.
No way.
Yep, fish. Yeah, get the net.
Oh, she's stuck down on me.
Oh, feels pretty good, bro. I think he's barely hooked. Oh, no way.
Freaking drum.
A freaking drum. Oh my goodness. Well, a drum, sheep's head, whatever you like to call them. This fell victim to a tiny little DT6, just a small crankbait. Literally first bite we've got here at Lake of the Ozarks. And I was just convinced it was a freaking nice bass, dude. He went underneath the boat. He just subtly ate it. And I was like, oh, get the net, bro. And just a freaking drum. Can you believe that, boys? Either way, fun catch. Let's let him go. And I'm just gonna kind of keep working this riprap bank. What do you do? I just got done talking to one of my buddies who lives down in Branson, which is by like Table Rock, and which kind of sets up like Lake the Ozarks. And I was like, how's fishing, man? How you been doing? He's like, well, the water temperature's super cold, just like where you guys are, except it's probably a little colder. And all my buddies have kind of stopped bass fishing right now. And I'm like, why is that? He said, just because winter's prolonged so much that the water's so cold that the fish are still kind of in between like where they are in the winter and where they should be pulling up in the spring. So fishing is tough, but we're on open water nonetheless. And I have faith. All right, stay tuned. You won't be pissed. That's all she wrote, guys. That has never, ever, ever happened to me before. I've been skunked myself. Brok has been skunked himself. But I think together, we have never been skunked for bass. This was a tough day. It was awesome to get a good full day though of bass fishing in, and just there's low wind. We could actually drive around everywhere. We could actually fish areas, actually just graph around and really just enjoy our time on the water, which was good. I learned a lot about this lake. I've never fished the north end of this lake before, so we got to see a lot of cool stuff. I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow. I have no idea. Assuming like we're for sure gonna fish, but as far as like where we're gonna drop in, what we're gonna do, what do you think?
Just keep giving our best. I have no idea.
Nothing really worked today, so I guess can only go up from here on out. So I think we're gonna head back to the house now. Not the house, we're gonna head back to the motel, fry up some more deer steak, and probably re-rig some rods. 3/4 of the way driving back to the motel. We're just cranking some tunes, reflecting on the day. Oh, you know what, dude? I think we just need to pump it back up.